One of the four most widely used definitions of health is that of the WHO, which defines health as a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. This definition goes well beyond a condition of physical health but includes psychological state and general well-being. During recent decades, there has been a progressive decline within the level of physical activity in people's daily lives in developed countries. For the majority of individuals, little physical effort is involved any longer in their work, domestic chores, transportation and leisure. While specific health risks differ between countries and regions, the very fact remains that physical inactivity may be a major risk factor for many common non-communicable diseases, and physical activity can counteract many of the ill effects of inactivity. The World Health Organization (WHO) estimates that, with the exception of sub-Saharan Africa, chronic diseases are now the leading causes of death within the world. The WHO cites four non-communicable diseases that make the most important contribution to mortality in low and middle-income countries, namely disorder, cancer, chronic respiratory illness, and diabetes. Sporting physical activity has long been used as a tool to improve mental, physical and social well-being. Physical inactivity is a major risk factor associated with a large number of lifestyle diseases such as cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes and obesity. Sport projects that specifically focus on health outcomes generally emphasize 1. The promotion of healthy lifestyle choices among children and young people as well as adults to combat inactivity. 2. The use of sport as a tool to raise awareness on communicable diseases in developing countries, for example, through district or national health campaigns supported by athletes and sports competitions. The use of sport as a didactical tool to communicate vital health-related information to at-risk groups. 4. The use of sport to mobilize hard-to-reach groups as part of large-scale health campaigns, including, for example, communities with low population density. 5. Sport is considered to contribute to achieving mental health objectives, including addressing depression and stress-related Many people asked recently which sports are good for health. Adults participating in a high overall level of sports and exercise are at 34% lower risk of death than those who never or rarely engage in such activities. This generic evidence, however, does not imply all sports equally affect. The previously mentioned 2018 review summarized available data on health benefits of participation in 26 sport disciplines. It found conditional to moderately strong evidence that both running and football improve heart function, aerobic capacity, metabolism, balance and weight status. Football was additionally shown to benefit muscular performance. The evidence for other sports was scarce or inconsistent. To strengthen the evidence on health benefits of 6 common sport disciplines, aerobics, cycling, football, racket sports, running and swimming, we recently analyzed data from 306 British adults. The study found 27%, 15%, 47% and 28% reduced risk of death for participants in aerobics, cycling, racket sports and swimming, respectively. Although we observed reductions in the risk of death associated with football and running, 18% and 13%, respectively, in our study sample, the data did not allow us to draw conclusions about these effects across the whole population. These statistically non-significant associations should not be misinterpreted as no association or evidence of no effect. We simply do not know whether the observed effects in the sample occurred by chance alone or reflect the true effects in the population. Previous studies conducted among Americans, Chinese men and Danes found a significantly reduced risk, 27%-40%, of death associated with running. The 2015 review identified a number of health benefits associated with football. Should I play sports at all? Annual injury rate among all recreational and professional athletes is around 6%. but incidence, types and severity of injuries vary significantly across different sports. Fortunately, experts advise that up to 50% of sports injuries can be prevented. The risk can be minimized by following Sports Medicine Australia's in-depth prevention guidelines and their injury fact sheets. More than 50 years ago, Winston Churchill was asked to reveal his secret of longevity. "Sport," he said. "I never, ever got involved in sport." So should we follow Sir Winston's example, or act in accordance with the latest research evidence demonstrating health benefits of sports? Although a possibility of a sports injury or other sport-related negative health outcomes, such as sudden death during exercise, can never be ruled out, the potential benefits of sports far outweigh the risks. Which sport to choose? It may take decades until we reach definite conclusions about health outcomes of all types of sport. Should you in the meantime sit in front of the TV and wait for researchers to announce the final results? No. Follow your preferences and select an affordable and easily accessible sporting activity you enjoy doing, while trying to minimize the risk of injury. This will increase your likelihood of staying sufficiently motivated and engaged in the activity long enough to reap substantial health benefits.